Virgin Voyages has flipped cruise ship dining upside down, replacing the old buffet and main dining room experiences with something completely different.
So join us as we show you what the dining is really like on a Virgin cruise ship as we eat our way through this ship and rate each experience along the way.
For those of you who are new here, we're Jamie and Skylar, and we've sailed on around 20 different cruise ships over the last few years. And of the 7 different cruise lines we've sailed on, the dining on Virgin was easily the most unique. And after checking in and boarding the Valiant Lady in Miami, we were ready for our first meal on Virgin Voyages.
Now we just got on the ship and dropped our backpacks off at the room. Of course, the first thing we have to do is find some food. Now, Virgin doesn't have a traditional buffet. Instead, they have a food hall with a lot of smaller spots to order food from.
Now, while the galley is much more food hall than buffet, you will still find items such as sushi that are pre-made to grab and go, but many others are made to order.
Now for our first meal, we decided to go with sushi from the bento spot and ramen from the noodle spot. I'm gonna start with the sushi. Now on the cruises we've been on recently, sushi has been an upcharge, so we really appreciate that we can get sushi that is complimentary. We did try 3 different kinds, and we both thought the spicy tuna was the best. Overall, we thought it was pretty good sushi, not spectacular, but we would get it again, and we both gave it a 7.
Sushi and ramen are 2 of our favorite things, and to know that we can get them both every day for lunch if we want to is pretty awesome. Let's try this ramen. We ended up going with a Thai curry ramen, which isn't the typical kind of ramen we eat, but it is very good. The curry flavor is pretty strong. There's a little bit of spice. Overall, the flavor is really good. Plus, it has some very tender pork in it, and the soft-boiled egg is really gooey and delicious. We were going back and forth on whether we were going to give it an 8 or a 9, so we're just going to give it an 8.5.
Now I couldn't leave the galley without trying dessert, and they had a lot of really delicious looking ones. I grabbed this pistachio dessert from the sweet side. Looks really good. Oh yeah, the outside is a little crispy and the inside is very creamy. I like the mix of the pistachio and raspberry flavors. I'm gonna give it a 9.
In addition to all the great food options that can be found in the galley, we were really impressed with the complimentary beverage options, which included multiple types of infused waters, plus several different sodas. After our first meal on the Valiant Lady, we scoped out the pizza shop, ice cream parlor, and beer bar, all of which we'll show you more of later. And after that, we headed back to our room to film our tour. Now, if you want to see the full tour of our balcony stateroom, you can find that in our Valiant Lady tour episode, which we'll leave a link to in the video description. Now, right as we were wrapping up filming our room tour, the ship was leaving port, so we enjoyed the view of Miami from our balcony before heading to the back of the ship for sunset, where we were entertained by these brave jet skiers. After sunset, we spent time exploring the ship as it was unlike any other we've sailed on to date. We were surprised to find it even had private karaoke rooms. We got a little bit lost and wandered into this sparkly hallway, which as it turns out, led to the nightclub. When it was time for our first dinner on the Valiant Lady, we quickly changed and headed to Gun Bay. Now, since the ship doesn't have a formal dining room to eat dinner at each night, if you don't want to grab something from the food hall or one of the bars, then you'll need to make reservations for the specialty restaurants, all of which are complimentary and can be booked ahead of time via the Virgin app. By the time we booked our cruise, several of the restaurants were already full to pre-reserve, but once you're on board, there are staff to assist in further bookings. Now, we were really glad that we were able to get a reservation at Gun Bay, as we had never seen a Korean-style barbecue restaurant on any other cruise ship. Complimentary menu items consisted of shared bites, rice noodles and stews, and grilled meats, veggies, and seafoods. But you could also pay a $55 upcharge for Wagyu ribeye, which no one at our table actually ordered. Our meal started off with grilled veggies, including these delicious mushrooms, but since it was quite loud inside Gun Bay, we're going to tell you about the rest of our meal outside of the restaurant.
We just got done with our first dinner on the ship at Gun Bay, the Korean BBQ restaurant, and this was a complimentary experience, but it did require a reservation. If you haven't been to a Korean barbecue before, it is an experience where a group of people sit around a table and the food is cooked in the center of the table. So if you don't reserve with a big group, you'll likely be dining with strangers, so be sure to show up ready to make some new friends. For appetizers, I ordered the rice dish and the crispy chicken because it was highly recommended by our waitress. The rice dish initially was a little bland, but whenever I put the hot sauce in it, it was really good. And the crispy chicken had a sweet sauce that had a kick to it.
Now, I love corn dogs, so for appetizers, I had to get those seafood corn dogs, and I got the kimchi soup. Both of them I'd say were really good, but not great. For our entrees, we both ordered the chef's special, which came with grilled short ribs, pork belly, shrimp, and I also had octopus added to mine. We both agreed that the best of the grilled meats was the short ribs, and I also really enjoyed the octopus. Overall, I think we'd give the food like a 7, but we'd give the atmosphere a 9 because our server was awesome. She had us playing this really fun drinking game, which ultimately came down to me and Jamie, which of course I won, and that meant that I got to finish a bottle of Korean liquor.
He's the winner, so he has to take 2. Ganbei! 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 Ganbei!
So overall, we'd give the Gunbei experience an 8.
Now, none of the dessert options at Gunbei sounded really good, but that was okay because the dessert station at the galley was right outside. So I picked out this coconut thing and Skylar got a peach crumble. So apparently that was not the right way to eat that. But the flavor is really good. It's like a meringue with a creamy filling inside, and I know there's some sort of fruit filling as well. I would still get it again, but I would probably try to eat it differently.
So for my dessert choice, I went with a peach crumble, but after watching Jamie try to eat her dessert, I'm a little bit nervous about this, so I'm going to eat it very carefully. Well, it didn't explode all over the place, so that's a plus. I wouldn't say this tastes quite as good as Jamie's dessert, but it's still pretty good. We decided to eat our first breakfast on the ship at the galley, where there's at least 7 different eateries serving breakfast food and a few others serving things like pastries, desserts, and coffee. We noticed the bento place was doing fruit and granola boxes, the salad place was doing bagels, the burger place was doing French toast and pancakes, and the taco place was doing breakfast burritos and benedicts.
Now, the only station that felt more like a buffet this morning was the diner that serves more traditional breakfast food all the time. There was a really long line there. Now, they do have a feature that can prevent you from standing in some of those lines. If you sit down and put the flag up on the menu, a staff member will come over and take your order. We did test it out today, and probably within 2 minutes, a staff member came over and we did order coffee. And probably within a couple more minutes, that coffee arrived. Now, we didn't test it out on food because we wanted to walk around and kind of see what everything looked like. We ended up ordering a flat white, and that cost us $5. We also tried the complimentary coffee. The flat white was very strong, and we did like it, but we thought the complimentary coffee was pretty good too. It wasn't near as strong, but they did have honey to put in it as well as a variety of milks. So we'll probably try another specialty coffee, but I think we'll also be okay with the complimentary. I ended up going with the French toast from the burger station. Now there you could order a burger that had French toast as a bun, but it was gigantic, so I just stuck with the French toast. It had good flavor, but I won't say it was my favorite French toast.
I decided to get my breakfast from the taco place, which apparently was really popular this morning, but the good thing is I still didn't have to wait in line because they use a buzzer system. So while I was waiting for my food, it did allow me to walk around, look at some of the other stations, and find a table. And it did take about 10 minutes or so before that buzzer finally went off, but when it did, my food was ready, and it was really good. The eggs Florentine was one of the better eggs Florentine that I've had, but we both agreed that that barbacoa eggs Benedict was delicious and was probably actually one of the best breakfast items we've ever had on a cruise ship. So overall, the food was pretty good. We didn't have to wait in any lines, so we're gonna give our breakfast today an 8.
After breakfast, we did some more exploring and were so impressed by the variety of activities offered. There were complimentary fitness classes, trivia at the social club, coffee tasting at the coffee shop, game shows in the nightclub, and even afternoon tea at the Sip Lounge. After walking around a bit, I decided to grab some complimentary gummy bears at the social club, and Skylar was ready for a drink.
Now, you're not going to find your traditional drink packages on Virgin Cruises like you will on some other cruise lines, but they do offer something called a bar tab where you can prepay a certain dollar amount and then they will add some credits on top of that. That said, we do actually have a $100 credit to use that we got for booking this cruise through Vacations to Go. So I'm going to go ahead and start using some of that credit right now by getting a beer that I've had my eye on over at the Draft House. So this beer does cost $9, which definitely is more than I typically like to spend on a beer. But when you consider that a Coors Light on this ship costs $8, getting a really high quality beer like this one definitely seems like a pretty good deal.
So for lunch, we decided to come up to the Sun Cafe, but before that, we stopped by the dock to listen to some live music. And there we saw they had a grab and go station. So we tried a pomegranate walnut dip. I really liked the chips that it came with, and Skylar really liked the dip. So here at the Sun Cafe, they did give us another buzzer to wait for our food, but it came out very, very fast. Now, we ordered the salmon bowl. We wanted to order the tuna bowl as well. When we saw how big they were, we decided to just order the salmon poke bowl, along with an oyster mushroom bao bun and a barbecue beef short rib bao bun.
Now, I also noticed that they had this firecracker popcorn. They said it was pretty spicy, and I love spicy things. It's actually a little bit sweet as well, but it is delicious, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be eating a lot of this on this cruise.
So when I took my very first bite of this bowl, I thought it was a little bit under seasoned, but then I added some soy sauce and sriracha and mixed it all up, and the second bite was much better.
Now, I've never had a bao bun that I didn't like. Hopefully, neither of these are the first. So that was the mushroom one. The mushroom flavor was really good. The bun itself wasn't like the softest ever, but overall it's still pretty good. Now I'm gonna try the beef rib one. Again, not the softest bun ever, but the meat is tender, and that horseradish mayo they have in here is delicious. Overall, we agreed that we'd probably only give the food here a 5, but the service was great, and we love being able to eat right on the side of the ship. Plus, that popcorn was amazing, so we're gonna give the atmosphere a 9, and that averages out to a 7.
After lunch, it was time to check out the complimentary ice cream shop.
So I went with the brown butter ice cream in a red velvet cone. This kind of reminds me of a butter pecan ice cream, but instead with almonds.
So we came back to our room after it was cleaned by our room attendant, and apparently we do not have these lights quite figured out because the accent lights are now pink. And last night whenever I went to watch a movie, I hit the cinema button and the main lights turned off, these accent lights turned blue, and it closed the shades. Okay, so we finally figured out these lights. When you go to room controls, it asks about what your current vibe is or your mood, and you can go to different ones. Pumped up opens up the windows, and it's like a purpley color. Hangover closes the blinds, and it's still a purple color. Get it on. Shades stay closed, and it turns pink. Oh, and it turns on music. Next, it was time to go to the pool. Because it was pretty late in the day, it wasn't too busy. The loungers around the pool were very comfortable, but we didn't stay long as staff were moving all of the pool furniture to get ready for the party later that evening. After the pool, Skylar got in a quick workout before we spent some time on the back of the ship on the net.
So from my view, it does look like Skylar is sitting over the water, but he says he's sitting over the deck below us.
Before getting ready for an evening filled with experimental foods and dancing, we took a stroll through the food hall to see what it was like around dinner time. It wasn't busy at all, but still offered a good variety of options.
So we do have a dinner reservation tonight, but it's not until 8:45, so we decided to at least stop through the galley just to see what eateries were open for dinner. It appears to be a Greek night because there is some lamb and other Greek items at one of the stations, and the lamb looked really good, so I had to get some. That's actually some of the better lamb I've had. It's very tender, and the gravy on it is delicious.
Tonight the hallways are red because it's Scarlet Night and we're going to put our red on. Our dinner reservation was at the Test Kitchen, which was described to us as being an experimental kitchen. It offered a 6-course meal with 3 appetizers, 1 main course, and 2 desserts. The only decision we had to make was whether we wanted venison or beef for the main course. If you are considering booking this restaurant, keep in mind this is meant to be a dining experience, so don't expect to be in and out quickly. We were sat around the kitchen bar, which we preferred over a table, as we were able to watch the staff prepare various dishes.
Skylar and I both love mushrooms, so this meal is off to a really good start.
So our host explained that this first dish actually has 4 different types of mushrooms in it. The spreadable paste-like thing has 2 types of mushrooms, and then there's a smaller mushroom on the side that's actually kind of sour, and then there's a sauce that's also made out of a different kind of mushroom.
I think we're both really excited to see what's under these glass domes. Oh, thank you.
Second course.
Second course.
Egg yolk and English peas.
Egg yolk and peas. I can smell the smoke under that.
Very smoky.
Smells very good. Oh, wow. Oh, it's one of those fancy egg yolks. So our host said that this egg has been cooked for like an hour, and they recommend that you mix it with the peas and then put it on the bread.
Honestly, it's better than I expected. It's not very smoky though. I was expecting it to have more of a smoky taste, but it's still pretty good.
Our third appetizer has arrived. It's scallops, and it looks like it's covered in butter and ham.
So our entrees have arrived. Both of them had some berries on them to start, and then they put chocolate on top and gravy on top of that. Honestly, it seems really strange, but I bet it's gonna be good. So the meat is very lean. It's not gamey at all. It's pretty tender, but the gravy and the goji berries, they really do blend together really well. I like that flavor a lot. Overall, pretty good.
So my steak is prepared pretty much just like Skylar's, except for its beef. The chocolate flavor is still a little surprising to me, but the gravy and the berries go well together.
So our first round of desserts has come out. We got a mandarin sorbet that actually comes in a mandarin orange peel. And then we got a blue cheese mousse that's topped with Asian pear and candied pecans. So I love blue cheese and I love candied pecan, so it's no surprise that I really enjoy this. The blue cheese flavor isn't too strong. It's really good.
Now this thing is almost too cute to eat. Very creamy, very sweet. I like it. Our final dessert has arrived. It's a chocolate cake, and there's almond sponge on top and strawberry caviar. That is very rich. No, I like it because I like chocolate.
After dinner, we had to rush off to the Scarlet Night Party. We'd heard this party gets wild, and if you've seen our ship tour episode already, you know that's no lie.
So by the time we finished up our dinner at Test Kitchen, the Scarlet Night Party was about to get started, so we rushed off to experience that. That party was completely crazy, and after spending a couple of hours there, we finally made it back to our room to give you the recap of the Test Kitchen dinner. Now, we knew that the Test Kitchen was an experimental restaurant and that some of the things we'd be trying would be a little bit unusual, and some of the things definitely were. A lot of those flavor pairings did seem really odd, but most of them actually ended up being really good. Now, overall, we both agree that we had a great experience here, and we would rate it a 9, and if you are an experimental eater at all and like trying new things, we'd highly recommend checking out the Test Kitchen.
So after that party, we kind of need to wind down. I think I'm going to change everything to this. Look at that. That noise was the curtains closing.
So we're back in the galley for our second breakfast of this cruise, and slightly different result with the flag this time. This time I had it up probably about 15 minutes before someone came to take our order, but eventually they did show up. We actually ordered stuff from 3 different eateries for breakfast, so we'll see how long it takes to get everything. So while it did take a while for someone to come and take our food order, once we ordered, our breakfast burritos showed up in only around a minute or so. We got an avocado and a chorizo burrito. I'm gonna try this avocado one first. So it's mostly rice. There is a little avocado, a little bit of cheese, and some beans, I think, too. But the flavor is good. I wish there was more avocado, but still pretty good.
Now, before I can even try this chorizo burrito, our avocado toast showed up, so all we're waiting on is our coffee. So my review is similar to Skylar's. I wish there was more chorizo in this burrito. So if I had to choose between the breakfast burritos and the Benedict's at the taco place, I would definitely recommend the Benedict's. Next up is the avocado toast. I really like that it comes with the pickled red onions. So the bite with the pickled red onion was really good, but the avocado itself is not very flavorful, so I'll probably add some salt and pepper to it.
Now, Skylar eventually decided that the toast had some avocado to spare, so he relocated it to the chorizo burrito and added some hot sauce, which I gotta admit was pretty good.
Since we were up late at the party last night, we definitely need some coffee this morning, so we ordered a hot caramel latte from the coffee shop. You're gonna like that. Very good. So we weren't too impressed with our food at breakfast today. I think we'd give the food itself a 4, but once we did get our order taken, our service was really good, even though the galley was quite busy today. So I think we'll give the overall breakfast experience a 6.
After breakfast, we spent the morning filming our Valiant Lady ship tour before heading to the Wake Steakhouse for our brunch reservation. Now, those of you who follow our channel know how much we love steak, so it probably comes as no surprise that we made brunch and dinner reservations at the Wake.
So this restaurant is located at the very back of the ship, and we were lucky and got a table right next to the windows, but today it is super sunny, so I have to wear my sunglasses. Skylar is testing out the dress code policy because according to the website, you're supposed to be able to eat at any of the restaurants however you feel comfortable. So he's got a tank top on, a backwards hat, and flip-flops, and nobody said a thing. For appetizers, Skylar went with the wedge salad and I went with the poached shrimp.
We do want to mention that while most of the items on the menu here were complimentary, there were a couple specialty items which required an upcharge.
The shrimp is really good and I like the horseradish sauce.
So this wedge salad actually came with 2 mini wedges, and everything on them is crumbled, including the crouton, the eggs, and the bacon. So for lunch at the Wake today, we were able to order off both the lunch and the brunch menu. I ordered off the lunch menu and got the hanger steak, and Jamie got the soft shell crab benedict off the brunch menu. I ordered my hanger steak medium rare. It looks like that's how it's cooked. So I think a hanger steak is like what we call a flank steak at home. It's not the most tender cut of meat, but it's very flavorful, and this is delicious.
Now these eggs benedict are unlike any we've tried before. Instead of an English muffin, there's something different on the bottom here. I'm not sure if it's corn-based or what, but I'm excited to try it. That is really good. I like the texture of whatever this bottom stuff is here. So I'll have to look at the menu, but to me, the bread in this Benedict seems like it's a mixture between cornbread and grits.
Before we move on to dessert, we do also want to mention that like each of the other specialty restaurants, beverages at the Wake do cost extra and include cocktails, wines, juices, beers, and even a bottomless brunch option.
So when I ordered the crepe dessert, this isn't what I was expecting, but it does look delicious. It has strawberries, rhubarb, and some sort of crumble on it. So the layers are definitely crepes, but there's some cream in between each one. It's really good.
We both agreed that that crab benedict was really good, but the star of the show had to be that hanger steak. In fact, I think that would be the first entree I've had on this ship that I would rank a 10 out of 10. They also sat us right by this window. The service was good. They let me in with my casual, comfortable attire. Now, it wasn't perfect, but it was close. So overall, I think we're going to give it a 9.5. And we're really glad that we're going to get to come back here for dinner tomorrow night.
After lunch, we spent the afternoon filming the upper decks for our ship tour. And at the end, we enjoyed a Caribbean sunset before heading back to the galley for a pre-dinner snack.
To celebrate finishing our tour, I got a Valiant Lady, which is blueberry and white chocolate, and the dessert of the day, which is a pina colada thing. That one was definitely my fault.
How's this fault would it be?
It's not super sweet, it's very creamy, and the blueberry in the middle is really good. It says very similar to the Valiant Lady, but instead of blueberry, it's just that pina colada flavor.
Next up for the night was a visit to Razzle Dazzle for our third dinner on the Valiant Lady.
Our dinner reservation tonight is at Razzle Dazzle, and we just learned that it used to be a vegetarian and vegan only restaurant, but they have incorporated meat and fish into the menu, but they still serve a lot of vegetarian and vegan options.
For our appetizers, I went with the pork belly and Jamie went with the chicken wings. For our entrees, I ordered the lamb shank and Jamie ordered the short rib pastrami, and our waitress also recommended the Nashville hot cauliflower, so we got some of that too.
Shortly after ordering, our appetizers had arrived, and it was time for Skylar to try the pork belly first.
So the flavor of that pork belly is good, but it's more like a thinly sliced pork chop than actual pork belly. There's hardly any fat in it, so not a huge fan.
So these wings have Old Bay on them. I'm gonna try them without the sauce first.
So what we're doing is to the Bahamas.
It is crispy and I do like the flavor. That sauce has some interesting flavors in it, and honestly, I think I like it better without it.
The Nashville hot cauliflower just came out. We're gonna give it a try. So I'm normally not a huge cauliflower fan, but the batter that they fry it in is delicious. I would eat anything fried in that batter. Thank you.
Wow, that was great.
So our waitress said they roast this lamb for like 6 hours, and I believe it because it just fell right off the bone. That is very tender, very well seasoned. It's slightly gamey, but I don't mind it. Overall, it's really good.
And here's the pastrami short rib. That's flavorful, very tender. I like it.
Now, given that we'd eaten those sweets just a couple hours earlier, we figured we'd probably pass on dessert at Razzle Dazzle. But that was before we spotted vanilla bean creme brulee on the menu.
The waitress did warn us that there's gonna be a smoky flavor in this. It's not too sweet, but it is smoky. I'm not sure if I like my dessert to be smoky. It's definitely interesting.
Now, I generally really enjoy creme brulee and smoky things, so in theory, I should really like this. It is slightly strange, but I think I like it, but I'm not sure yet. So once I got past the shock of the smokiness in the first bite, each bite after that, it was a little more subtle, and the texture of this creme brulee is great, so overall I would recommend it. So everything that we tried in this meal was very good with the exception of that pork belly. Jamie's pastrami is probably the best pastrami we've ever had, and that lamb shank was so tender. I honestly thought the atmosphere was a little bit weird with the red lighting, but Jamie liked it. And the service, like every other sit-down restaurant we've had so far, was very good. So overall, we landed on a 9 out of 10 for this experience.
We are not on a Margaritaville cruise, but Skylar legit blew out his flip-flop.
At dinner. How does
At dinner. Look at those bare feet walking around. The walk of shame.
Not the longest. These flip-flops lasted me like 3 years.
That's pretty good.
After a quick change of footwear, we hit the Draft House to grab Skylar and Neon Rainbow's New England IPA before heading to the social club to watch karaoke. Now, karaoke was very popular, but was also very crowded, so we decided to make a stop by the Manor to check out the nighttime festivities before capping the night off with some live music at On the Rocks.
So we came down to the grounds club this morning for our morning coffee, and since we're going to be getting off the ship soon to go to the Bimini Beach Club where they will have food, we decided to just have a small breakfast, and we grabbed a croissant from the coffee shop. They are complimentary, and this one has jalapeno and cheese in it. The flavor's good. It actually does have quite a bit of spice. I like that a lot. There you go.
Skylar's pastry was pretty good, but I'm not a huge fan of jalapeno, so he got me my own chocolate one. I'm not gonna say they're as good as MSC's pastries, but pretty good.
After a quick complimentary shuttle ride, we arrived at Virgin's private beach club, which according to their website combines the energy of a Vegas pool party with the relaxation of a tropical getaway, and we found that description to be accurate. Now in this video, we are focusing on the food experiences, so if you're interested in more of the pool party and beach experiences, you'll want to watch our tour video after this one. Now let's get to the complimentary food at the beach club.
So we really like the setup of the food stations on this resort. There are food areas on either side of the resort, and each of them have 2 stations. So we haven't seen any crazy lines like we have on other private islands. We've also been impressed with the type of food that's available out here. We got pulled pork, a watermelon jicama salad, pumpkin curry, fried cassava, and snapper ceviche. I do want to mention that some of the tables have these things which keep the bugs away, which is great because there are a lot of flies out here.
Of the 5 items we tried for lunch here at Bimini Beach Club, there was only one that we weren't a big fan of, and that was the fried cassava. It just seemed like it had been sitting out for a while, but we did discover that once you dip it in the pumpkin curry, it's actually pretty good. Jamie's favorite item was the pulled pork, and mine was the snapper ceviche. Considering how solid the food was, how we hardly had to wait in line at all, and also how easily we were able to find a spot to sit in the shade, we're giving this experience a 9 out of 10.
We finished our lunch just in time to catch the beginning of the pool party. After that, we spent some time on the beach and then hopped back on the shuttle to return to the ship.
So we just got back from the beach club. Before we left, we had asked that our bed be turned into a sofa.
Oh, wow.
And it looks like it has.
So roomy in here now.
Yeah, a lot more space, and that platform area makes a lot more sense, doesn't it?
Eventually, we got ready for our dinner reservation at the Wake. It was extremely popular, and this was the line waiting for it to open. This restaurant offers views of the ship's wake, and during our dinner, we got to enjoy sailing away from Bimini at sunset.
So for dinner tonight, we're starting with some unique appetizers. I'm having the crudo, and Skylar is having the roasted bone marrow. Now for mains, I'm trying the filet, and because Skylar loved the hanger steak so much for brunch, he ordered that, but he's also gonna get to try the New York strip.
Everything is upside down. Don't know what's going on. I see you pass me by, and you don't walk alone. Yeah.
I wasn't really sure what I expected when I ordered this bone marrow appetizer, but it definitely wasn't this. I'm still excited to try it though. So the flavor of the bone marrow is very good, but this toast that they have you spread it on is very thick and very dry. I think if the toast was like maybe half as thick as it is, it'd be much better. Like the ratio is off, but the flavor is good.
So I've already cut into my steak, and it was cooked exactly how I ordered it and very tender. I've also tried it with 2 of the sauces we ordered, the béarnaise sauce and the sauce with like chimichurri, and I do prefer it with the green sauce.
Both my hanger steak and New York strip were cooked to perfect medium rare as well. I'm gonna try the New York strip first. Now that's not the most tender New York strip I've ever had, but the flavor is really good. I also really like that chimichurri sauce. So overall, really solid steak. Now I already know this hanger steak's gonna be awesome because I had it for lunch yesterday, but this time I also have mushrooms and béarnaise sauce to eat it with. That steak tastes exactly like the one I had for lunch, and that béarnaise sauce is good, but this steak is so good by itself, I don't think I'm gonna be eating any more of the sauce with it. So I got the Meyer lemon cheesecake for dessert. I was not expecting it to actually look like a lemon. Oh, it's hard on the outside.
What's it look like in the middle?
Like cheesecake? Yeah, that's my type of cheesecake. It's not overly sweet. You can taste the citrus a lot. Texture is really good. I like that quite a bit.
So I ended up getting the Wake for dessert. It's some sort of hazelnut chocolate thing. So there are a few layers in that. I do like the creaminess of the chocolate. The crust is a little thick, but overall I like it.
We just finished up our final dinner of the cruise at the steakhouse, and it was another really good one. Now, our appetizers were a little bit strange and weren't our favorites, but all 3 of our steaks were cooked perfectly. The filet was the most tender, the hanger steak was the most flavorful, and the New York strip was kind of a combination of the 2. Jamie's favorite was the filet, and mine once again was the hanger steak. Now the service was really good, and they once again sat us right next to a window, which was great, and overall we're gonna give this experience a 9 out of 10.
After dinner, we listened to some live music in the roundabout, went to a show in the Red Room, and even stopped by the 70s dance party in the Manor.
Skylar got one last beer before we had to get pizza. Since we were sharing a pizza, the staff told us that we can do half and half. So we got half of it with the pesto, mushrooms, and chicken, and the other half is a bunch of cheeses. It doesn't knock MSC out of the #1 pizza spot, but it is still pretty good.
Pretty solid pizza. I'd agree with Jamie, not anywhere close to MSC quality, but still a really good option, especially after midnight.
We spent the next morning packing because on Virgin, you don't have to be out of your stateroom super early like on other cruise lines. Then we headed to the galley for breakfast.
So it's our last breakfast here on the ship. We got to be off in about a half hour, and we are pigging out. We got an apricot mascarpone thing. We got a sausage roll. We got a strawberry pistachio croissant. We got some sausage and some bacon, and we got another bowl of ramen. As we enjoy our final meal on this cruise, we do have to say that while this dining experience was completely different and did take us a while to get used to, by the end of our cruise, we were really enjoying it. While not everything on this ship was great, we did agree that the food quality on Virgin Voyages ranks right up there with our experience on Celebrity and an MSC's Yacht Club. Now, if you do want to see a whole lot more of the Valiant Lady, then go ahead and click on our Ultimate Tour video right now. Thanks for watching.